Probably birth. Other than that, I'm sorry. Other than that, I would say, let's see. Well, we went to the Grand Canyon, and, just being me, just hopping around, jumping around, just climbing up.
So basically, we were right at the edge of the Grand Canyon, and we were climbing up this one wall, and I told him that was a really stupid way to go up this rock formation, and he said the verbatim, "What are we gonna do? Fall off the Grand Canyon?" and slipped right when he said that. It barely caught himself. Other than that, he would have fell right in that big old hole in the ground.
Also, for a nice, adorable answer, being with someone you love.
There you go. Is there someone specific you have in mind?
Well, it's family, but also friends.
Are these the friends? Can I get a
Oh,
shot of you?
absolutely. Get in here.
I feel the most alive when I am performing drag. When I have the wig and the heels on and my song's on, and that crowd's really feeling it and I'm feeling them, that's when I feel most alive.
What is it about it that makes you feel alive, you think?
I don't even know, honestly. It's just one of those things. I just don't question it.
Probably when I'm with my girlfriend. I'm actually going to propose today, so there's that. So yeah, I think today's the day I feel pretty alive.
Okay, so you did it!
Yeah,
Yay!
we did. The ring pop.
Yeah, the real one will be here eventually, but this is good.
Yeah.
I was thinking it might be coming. I knew it would be when he was here visiting, but I didn't know it was gonna be today. So he was trying really hard to find the perfect spot to take a picture, and I was kind of like, why are you being so weird about this? But it made sense when he got down. I was like, no way! So yeah.
And then what was going on through your head?
I was trying to find a good spot so we could actually have pictures of it.
Well, you got a good one.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
I was mountain boarding down this like this massive hill, and I hit this rock and I just fly off the board, and I just see like the whole ground beneath me. I'm just flying at it, and I'm just like, I am probably going to die right now. And I felt kind of amazing for a little bit, and then I hit the ground and then I felt awful. But probably that moment.
Running with the bulls in Pamplona. It was the closest to dying that I've ever been, so I guess that's the most alive I've ever felt as well, so yeah.
When I finally cut my hair off, I felt free, because a lot of people are very attached to their hair, and it's just like I can let it go. I don't need it to add beauty because I'm beautiful without it, so yeah.
It's a good question. I have a lot of depression, so it's kind of muddled everything. Recently, I celebrated the 5-year mark. I stopped self-harming, and it's really freeing to not have to do that anymore. I still get urges, but it's not as bad anymore. It takes time, it goes away. It still comes. Yeah, that's it.
I would have to say I'm a pretty shy person. I don't really like even this is out of my comfort zone, but I think the most time that I felt alive was I like doing spoken word and poetry. I think the most time that I felt alive was the first time that I did it. I didn't expect the reaction that I was going to get, and a lot of people liked it, and I was really stoked that a lot of people were happy to hear me. It was pretty dope.
I feel like I should feel alive more often. Just being around my nieces and nephews is probably when I do feel most alive. Like, they're just so innocent and young, and they're alive at every moment, whereas I have to think really hard about when the last time that I was alive was, or felt alive. So I think I also just love them so much. When you feel that much love for just like some young kids that are so innocent, that there's just something super beautiful about that. We should learn how to do that as adults a whole lot more.
When I was in school, I had this group of friends that I would always just drive around with at night. And one time we were just we were just driving in the middle of the night, and my friend like stuck his head completely out of the window, and I was like, what are you doing? Because it like reminded me of like a dog like sticking the head out. But then I was like, I want to try it, and I tried it, and it was so pretty, and like it felt like the air felt really good, and I feel like that was like the time where like what I think of a lot that I felt most alive.
Pretty much now, you know, getting to be with my friends.
So what about it makes you feel alive, do you think?
Just being getting out more than I usually do.
I went on a trip about a year ago, and I had paid for the trip for the first time all by myself, and I organized the whole thing. And so I think I felt most alive that time because I did pretty much most of it on my own. I mean, I took a group of my friends, but I made sure that it was all taken care of. And so we went to all the amusement parks, and while everyone was tired by the end of it, I was like, oh, that was great to see I could accomplish that.
So the moment I felt most alive was the day that my son was born. And so it was really interesting because he wouldn't cry. I had just given birth. I had a C-section, and I had just given birth, and he wouldn't cry, and he wouldn't cry and cry. And so finally, it seemed like an eternity until he like just whimpered, right? And it was like a tiny little cry, and that was the moment that my heart just exploded and became like 4 times the size it was before, right? Because I had so much love for this little crying, whimpering baby, and it was so amazing. So that was the moment in my life that I felt most alive.
Probably one time when I was riding my bicycle alone around my neighborhood, because I don't know, I'm normally like a homebody and I'm not allowed to do many things by myself, so I don't know, I felt free because I could just be myself, and like I wasn't held back by anyone, and I could go wherever I wanted.
I was probably around 7 or 8, and my granddad had built my sister and I like a little cart that we could drive ourselves. And I don't know, when you're 7 and 8, it feels like you're untouchable, and we were driving down this fast road where cars go 90, and it was just like a liberating feeling being so young, and I don't know, it felt amazing. And it touches me every time because I just lost my granddad a few years ago, so it's a good memory to have of him.
Oh God, I think in my trip to Iceland, being like, I think in that moment, but feeling like the presence of God. Like I'm not super religious, and I love God and everything, but I felt like he was there because of the tremendous peace that I had with like the environment and the mountains, and just everything was so perfect.
When I was dead. What happened exactly?
Yeah.
I became one with everything, and I didn't exist as just a singular person anymore, and it was beautiful.
I think the time I felt most alive was when I decided to do what I wanted to do with my life instead of what everybody else wanted me to do with my life, and I want to start a swimsuit business.
And what did everyone else want you to do?
Right now I'm studying math, biology, and chemistry. I was supposed to be a bioengineer, very capable of still being a bioengineer, but I'm choosing the life I want. So I really embarrassingly went out and bought a self-help book, which was the first time I'd ever done that, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cringy. It was the Yellow Badass book, and I read it cover to cover, and I was like, wow, I needed to reevaluate. I'd lived my whole life by other people's terms, and it was time to live it by mine. So I decided that I wanted to go out and start my own business and donate money back to different people in different countries. Each swimsuit is inspired by a different country too, and I love traveling, so that allows me to incorporate all my passions.
Well, I don't really know how to answer that question because I used to be more depressed like back in high school, and I got a type of psychosis. It's called Cotard syndrome, and I felt dead. Like I really felt dead. Like sometimes I would hallucinate and like taste like I was dying, and I felt like I was just watching life through like a third person perspective, like a movie. So I feel like I still kind of feel that way sometimes, but I don't have psychosis anymore, but it just like, you don't really know what reality is. Like I don't feel like very grounded sometimes, so I don't really feel it.
You would say that you've never felt the feeling of being alive?
I don't don't know. I mean, there's like adrenaline and stuff, but it's never like a full grasp of I'm breathing. Like, I feel very disconnected from body and mind and spirit, so it's a bit hard to answer.
When I think about that question, I come up with a memory in my head that's of me just like laying on my couch and I'm just like staring at the ceiling. And during that moment of my life, I was going through like a lot. I felt like I was feeling symptoms of like what it would be like to have depression. Not that I think that I have depression, because there are people who really do like have depression and they really do struggle with it, and it's something that I don't want to undermine. I was just laying there and I was like, I have nothing to do. I have nothing to go do. I have like no purpose. I'm just laying here. I felt like really stuck and I felt like I couldn't control it. So I would just like avoid it. And so when you like avoid everything, you kind of just feel like what it feels like, just like you know, because like a lot of people are attached to what they're doing, you know, like the things that they're accomplishing, like that's their life. But like having nothing and feeling like I had no control and feeling like there was nothing I could like feel like I had accomplished or something that I was working towards, I literally just felt like me. It's kind of confused. It's like confusing to explain, but I'll try and like get it into one more cohesive sentence. I feel like I was just floating, you know?
Probably when I picked up a camera.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Just it helps look at the world in a different light and different perspectives. Once I started capturing real, what I considered intimate moments.
Okay, there you go. I think I have to agree with you. I think that's what my answer would be as well.
Awesome.
Hey everyone, before you go, I just want to let you know that I put together a playlist of episodes similar to the one you just watched. So if you like this episode, make sure to check that out. It'll be linked somewhere on the screen. I also want to thank everyone who voted on the polls earlier this week. I also just want to thank you guys for everything. It's pretty crazy how far we've come in just 2 years. And I can't believe I get to do this every week. You know, it's a lot of fun making these episodes, but most of the fun is in getting to share it with you guys, because you guys are just the coolest and I love hearing what you have to say about each episode. Yeah, I can't thank you guys enough, so thank you again. That's pretty much it. I'll see you guys next week.